Okay, before I talk about, Chapter 61 of The Promised Neverland, I gotta acknowledge something. I have to acknowledge the character designs of Emma and Ray. I really love the coats. I don't know if it's just me, but something about the way they wear these coats, it just makes them have this different vibe about them. Like, I get this vibe from them to where they feel much older than they look. Like, they look like they're, like, probably the age of 20-something or 30-something by the way they carry themselves with those coats, even though they're children. I don't know, I really like the character designs of those two characters in this chapter. But anyways, getting into the core content of Chapter 61, the end of the chapter is quite the cliffhanger. We have a bunch of man-eaters, demons, popping up, surrounding Emma and Ray and the no-name man. And I want to point something out. With all of these man-eaters being there, the no-name man, he seems like he's fine. Like, he's very calm. He doesn't seem like he's really worried. He's stressing out. I mean, when you look at his expression and all that after they all pop up, it seems like he's actually happy and enjoying himself. So, this is what I'm assuming, okay? He probably knows an incredible weakness to the man-eaters, because that's the only thing I could assume. I mean, for him to be that calm, there has to be something to do with these demons that is currently, Emma and Ray are currently facing that have to be, like, considered a weakness. Like, they have to have something that is an incredible flaw. I mean, they're probably not intelligent, because you can see by the way they're acting, and they're pack creatures, but typical animals can also, be pack creatures as well. So, it doesn't mean that they're at the level of intelligence like, other demons we have seen, like, at the beginning of the series. So, the only thing you could assume here is that there must be something very big that they're weak to, because we gotta remember one thing about this. 2,000 years ago, ancient humans, they were fighting the demons in a crossfire with just like arrows and bows, and they were fighting them with spears and stuff. That's what they were fighting the demons with. So ancient humans were fighting demons, these big bulky creatures, with just regular basic primal stuff. So there has to be a crucial weakness. There has to be a big weakness to these demons. Either some form of, like, chemical, mineral, or some form of, like, tool that they're weak against, or maybe there's just a certain weak point on demons that, if you hit it, they die instantly, like, similar to Attack on Titan. I mean, something like that. There has to be a crucial weakness for these demons for the man to act as calm as he did in this chapter. I mean, he didn't even try to run, because if he truly was scared, like he said he was, like, okay, let me back up and explain here. Basically said if any of these demons, and he was even said at the beginning of the chapter, if any demon spots you, you best run, because if they spot you, you're dead. It's over. And he has a lot of, logic behind this, because these demons obviously are much more in variety. They're all over the place. There's a lack of, humans here. So you're not going to have a lot of backup. And then if they get you in a corner, or, there's a noise complaint, if there's like some form of police force, they're going to come in, you're going to get surrounded, and eventually you're just going to get wiped out. And so when you look at all these things, it makes a lot of sense why he would say, if, you're seeing you're dead, you need to run and stay hidden. But for him to shoot the demon, and then just sit there and then look at all these demons pop up and not get worried, scared, or even try to run on his own, it proves that the fact is there has to be a crucial weakness here. So I'm curious to find out what it is. But anyways, though, let's talk about the other stuff. One of the big things about this chapter is that Emma and Ray are really starting to pick up on what this man with no name is starting to do. For instance, how he's able to walk without really making any noise whatsoever. Now, skilled hunters, people that have hunted for years, and they, train themselves to be able to sneak up on deers, rabbits, and all stuff like that, usually certain hunters, they could kind of move through the woods without really making too much noise, because if you make a lot of noise, obviously a deer, rabbit, whatever, is going to run and jump or whatever to get away from you. So, skilled hunters obviously know how to kind of hide their footsteps. So it's not necessarily fake. When we found out how they're able to hide their, the sound of their walking, that is not necessarily fake. Maybe exaggerated to some extent. Maybe this series will probably try to exaggerate it. But overall, though, stuff like that does exist. So I do like how The Promised Neverland is still grounded in realism for the most part, especially with how it relates to like certain things when it comes to hunting. And I notice it's really a big theme with this series, because you have it to where, humanity, the children, they were, cattle basically in this farm. They finally escaped now, and then they're having to hunt and it's like a cycle of life, a big cycle. You have to hunt to be able to live, or you're hunted for other creatures can live, and it's a big cycle of life and all that. And basically Emma found out about that, how they were considered basically basically game wild animals that were being hunted, and when she was, you know, taking down that one bird a while back, a couple of chapters ago. So when you look at all these little things, there's a big theme with The Promised Neverland, and that is hunting and, you know, certain traits to hunters. So I like that aspect of this chapter, just seeing how Emma and Ray are starting to pick up these little details and progressing at a very fast rate. Now, I do like how the man with no name, he's like, it's annoying. It's really annoying. He's like, this is boring. It's all right. Basically, what he was saying is that Emma and Ray, they're progressing at a pace to where if this continued and nothing happened, they would be completely fine. They would be able to get into their destination and everything would be completely fine. He didn't like that. It was very boring. Basically, he wanted to stir the pot in a way to where Emma and Ray get into danger, because if they didn't get into any danger, everything was going to be fine, because they already learned how to basically walk with no sound, so they were going to be able to cut through the forest like it was nothing. They were just too good, and so he wanted to cause his own problems. He could have easily have told them that these demons, you know, they have regeneration and all that, they can heal from wounds, and then, you know, that would have been fine. They would have been completely fine, and then they would have been able to get out or finish the demon off, but he didn't say that, because like I said, he wants entertainment. He wants to see their reactions to these certain things, how they react to the demons, how they react if one of them dies. He wants to see this, and so that explains why he kind of stirred the pot in this chapter, because it was just going too good for them, and he wanted to cause some form of problems for they can kind of be, you know, in chaos and not really know what to do. He wants to see that reaction. So yeah, anyways, I thought the man with no name was actually going to be a good guy for a second. I thought he was finally growing attached to Emma and Ray when he saved Emma and, you know, he shot the demon. I figured, you know, he finally had emotions, he was starting to care for them, but then all of a sudden we found out that the demon was fine, so I'm like, oh, okay, this man's still a jerk. He's still a jerk, and he's someone that obviously doesn't care about these kids at all. I do believe eventually he's going to develop some form of feelings for them, and I still do believe in some way that he's training these kids, but overall, though, he's still quite the jerk. I mean, especially doing what he did to Emma and Ray in this chapter. So that's about it. I mean, the chapter is very straightforward and simple. There's not really a whole lot going on it besides, you know, Ray and Emma learning how to walk without noise, the man analyzing Ray and Emma, saying, you know, one is like the guide, and then one is the one that like manipulates things behind the scenes, gets stuff done behind everybody. He basically analyzed them, and that was about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this chapter of The Promised Neverland, chapter 61. I love you all, and if you like my content, please subscribe, and if you enjoy this video, please leave a like. Love you guys, please be safe. Chibi out.